Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today we're at Hurley headquarters in Costa Mesa, California, and I have Bruce Moore and Margaret Mussman. They invited us to come down so we can talk about the new Hurley Wetsuit Advantage Series. So Bruce, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we've got a brand new lineup for Fall 17, and we've been working on this for about 3 years now, and so we couldn't be more excited for the launch. Every single material has been in the lab for testing, all the consumer feedback, all the athlete insights. We've also worked with a lot of labs around the world to study mechanics and actually how the body works, with our whole goal being enhance how the body works, understanding the mechanics so that we could develop wetsuits that really enhance that aspect.
So you work with a team of people. I'm assuming that you work with Margaret, so maybe you could tell us a little bit about what you do specifically, and then we'll ask Margaret the same.
Sure. Well, I work in the innovation department, and so it's a little bit more research-based, and so we work with a few facilities throughout the world, one being CSU San Marcos, where they have a surf research program. We also work with the High Performance Center over in Australia, and so what we're trying to do is really validate the wetsuit decisions that we make. And so my focus is a little bit more sports science, a little bit more new technologies, and Margaret handles all the design work.
So Margaret, tell us a little bit about that.
So what that entails is we essentially work with Bruce. He's feeding me this information. We're hearing it from the scientists, and then we're taking that into a commercialized product.
Yep.
Maybe tell us a little bit about the Plus, which is what, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe a little bit more the most affordable wetsuit?
Yeah. The Plus is our entry point into the marketplace, and arguably just as good, if not better, than other people's premium wetsuits. And so really our focus as a brand is 100% performance. And so even with these entry price points, performance is not sacrificed. And so the Advantage Plus, we've got one right here. The Advantage Plus is 100% super stretch, 100% tape seams. And so that's the thing that every surfer wants. And so we didn't want to sacrifice that. Mm-hmm. And you can see right here with the 100% tape seams and 100% super stretch. And so this suit right here really focuses on price to value. It's what every surfer needs. And we also focus on durability with this wetsuit. And so we've got chest panel, back panel with a hollow fiber, which is more insulating. We use smoothie in the back and also the chest so it doesn't absorb water, so you don't get that wind chill factor. But really the biggest point of differentiation for us is when it comes to seam placement. And the concept with this wetsuit here is pretty simple. Seams in general, they don't stretch as much as the material. And so what we do is we wrap the expansion areas, like in your ball and socket joint in your arm, and we place the seam actually in the compression area. So that way when you're paddling, you have full range of motion in your shoulder area. And the compression area is actually where you don't need any stretch, so that's why we place the seam there. We also do that in the hip area, and so we're wrapping the back panel all the way to the front, so that way there's no seam for straddling your board and also for getting up. And then we even do that concept with the chest panel and the back panel. So what we're doing is we're wrapping the back panel to the front, and so that way there's no seam in the side panel for torso twist and also movement. And so really, with the studies that we've done on biomechanics, it's really the seam placement that is the big differentiating factor for the Advantage Plus.
So Margaret, Bruce broke down the guys' stuff for us on the Plus. Maybe you could break down a little bit on the girls for us?
Yeah, definitely. If you don't mind handing over that blue guy. So, we took a lot of the same learnings, and luckily, the bodies are close enough in terms of where they pivot, how they move, they're in the same environment. And so we're able to give the female those same stabilizations from the compression to the stretch areas. And so you'll see this suit is built with the seaming being the first and foremost thing to help with performance. And then we've also been able to work with our athletes on the aesthetics. And we applied that information also to the men's. And so what you'll see on the women's is really trying to give a new aesthetic without being too forwardly girly. So this heather fabric, which I'm not sure if the camera's picking up, is a really awesome texture, and we're really happy about how that is performing. And then we're also offering this in a variety of warmth stories so that she has way more options along with the men's as well.
Yeah, so this morning we got here about 6:45. It was pretty cold, heavy offshores, about 59, 60 degrees out. So the air temp's cold. Water's super warm, it's like 68. I'm wearing the 3.2 Plus today, and it felt great. It was really flexible, and it was super warm even with the cold wind. So Bruce, can you tell us a little bit about the Advantage Max?
Yeah, we're really excited about the Max. And so as the Plus really focuses on durability, warmth, price to value, the Max, we focus on 100% performance. And so we've got a couple of those right here. And so what we've done is we've taken the same exact seam placement as the Plus, but we just step up with materials and closure to elevate the performance. And so the first thing you'll notice is that we've got a brand new material for the Max for fall 17. So when we compare this to last year's Phantom suit, what we've done is we've taken the silver heat reflecting material and we've put it directly on the foam, and then we've taken an infrared yarn and laminated that to the top of the silver reflective material to further increase insulation. And so you could see that that material is placed throughout the entire torso to really focus on keeping the core warm. The jersey itself is made out of infrared yarns. Infrared yarns are most common in outdoor industry, medical industry, for their warming properties. So in addition to the heat reflecting silver material, we've also got infrared yarns to further increase that warmth. We also went to a zipperless closure for the Max, so we're reducing bulk by 50%. And we're also increasing stretch and range of motion there. Another thing about the Max that you'll notice is this concept in the forearm called paddle assist. So really, paddle speed is incredibly important. If you're in really heavy conditions, the deeper you can position yourself, the earlier you can get in. So this is really something that we've focused on a lot. And so we've had previous versions that were basic embossing. And so really the idea is that we grab more water when we're paddling and we release efficiently. So we've actually had this tested at the High Performance Center in Australia, and this exact feature right here increases paddle speed by about 5 centimeters per meter. And so we're getting some significant results. Obviously, it has a lot to do with paddle technique, experience in the water, all of that good stuff. But no matter the level of surfing, everybody wants to paddle faster. Everybody wants to get into waves earlier.
So this morning was a bit warmer. We're doing the Advantage Max. This is an all 2 mil, and it's super flexible. What I love about this suit compared to the Plus is it has no smoothie on the front or the back, so it's way more flexible. And it was plenty warm. The water's like 68, but the wind temp was about probably 63, 65, and the offshores were blowing hard all morning. So Bruce, we've talked about Advantage Plus, Max, now the Elite. And at the Elite, at being the premium suit, from what I can see just by price at $750, there's got to be something special about it. Now, I've got one for the testing. I've worn it. The water dropped from 69 to about 63, and I'm a baby when it comes to cold water. So, and I needed to try the Elite suit, so I put it on. Man, it's so soft, it's really comfortable. I didn't feel any restrictions, and I did put on the 3 mil. And maybe you can tell me why I was feeling all these things.
Yeah, well, the Elite is 100% Japanese materials, 100% Japanese made. And so all of our athletes are in custom Japan wetsuits. and for the same exact reasons that you just stated, they're simply the best. They're more flexible, they're warmer, they're softer, and they stay soft and supple for a longer period of time. Japanese raw materials are simply superior to anything in the world. Japanese craftsmanship is the same, just superior to anything else in the world. And the reason that you felt so flexible and so warm is because of the materials, but also the way they put wetsuits together in Japan. And so in Japan, wetsuits are made one at a time. So as soon as a panel is glued, it's put together with the other panel. So there's no imperfections in that seam, and it's 100% watertight. So that's why you don't have to tape them. If you don't have to tape a wetsuit, then it's that much lighter, it's that much more flexible.
So what we've been able to do is take the feedback from our athletes, from ourselves. We both wear Japanese wetsuits. We're lucky enough to have that opportunity. And we're trying to figure out how we can give the consumer that opportunity as well. Because the Japanese market is very stable in Japan in the way that they do it, but we don't really have that need or want here because our American consumer hasn't had this experience yet. So we really took this, the Fall 17 line, and added this so that we could give that experience to the consumer. So if you want to feel this, you go and try this on and you'll know what we're talking about, because you can't really see it in a black wetsuit, but when you put it on your body, you can feel how different this rubber feels.
And we really felt like we were doing a disservice to our consumer. Here we have our elite athletes in custom-made Japan wetsuits, but we don't offer the best wetsuit to our general consumer. So for Fall 17, we're actually offering exactly what our athletes are performing in to the general consumer.
So today I'm wearing the Advantage Elite, which is the top end model of the Hurley suits. And when we got here, it was pretty cold. The wind was blowing hard offshore. It was about 57 degrees outside. Paddled out, water's still super warm. It's like 68. So what I'm looking for is just testing the flexibility, the comfort, and the rubber's really soft. It's probably the nicest suit I've ever put on, and I was really warm out there. So I'm super excited. You guys taught me a ton about wetsuits in general, the test center, all this great stuff for me. And so thanks for breaking that down for me, Bruce. I really appreciate it. Margaret?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, our sport in general has been very feel-based. Like, my board feels fast, or my wetsuit feels warm. And so what we're trying to do is we're really trying to validate the decisions that we're making with actual scientific data. And that's the information that's all behind these wetsuits.
Well, guys, that's it for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned as much about wetsuits as I did. Thanks for having me out, guys. And hey, if you like the show, subscribe. We'll see you in the water. Take care. Bye-bye.